Yep.
I'm feeling ready, I think.
All right, here we go. Welcome to season 2 of Springville Hot Ones. We are super fortunate to today to be joined by 4 guests, a record for Hot Ones here. We have Terry Reinhardt, Gretchen Eastman, Melissa Murphy, and Rachel Zare. Maybe I should have said like Miss Zare, I don't know. But
it shouldn't come as a surprise to the kids that we have first names.
It might.
I would hope not.
We'll start off with the first question that we always start off with is, what is your spice level tolerance?
I'm going to say low.
I typically order things like if I go for Indian at like a medium. I can eat hotter, but I don't enjoy it if I can't taste the food over the spice.
There are some things that I like really spicy, but there are some things that just, it doesn't belong.
I said
for the most part, I like spice, but I like it to have some flavor. I want it to be sweet or something, not just hot. We'll see how hot this stuff is.
Let's start with the first sauce here. We got classic sauce.
There's a little kick, but it's just like a pepper thing. That isn't too bad.
My question for everyone is what are you excited about for this school year? What are you really kind of excited for, looking forward to, that type of thing?
Just having a routine to the day.
I'm looking forward to seeing the kids again.
Mm-hmm.
I started volleyball practice this week with the middle school, and it was just kind of, at first it was a little surreal, but it was fun to see those kids again and just interact with them, and I could tell they were excited to see each other.
It's always shockingly nice to see the kids again in the fall, and that's true I think any fall, but it's been so much longer and so much more has happened since we last saw them that it's really kind of revitalizing to see them again.
Mm-hmm.
I'm also kind of excited to try out all of the digital stuff that usually feels extra in a classroom, and so I don't really go there most of the time, but now that's going to be our kind of primary mode of getting information across, even in the classroom. So I'm excited to kind of dig into some of those things more often.
When I was wandering across the cafeteria on my way out, I don't remember what night it was, maybe Wednesday, and the volleyball players were coming in. I'm like, yeah, you know what? I don't have to leave right now after all. Yeah, let's just hang out and chat for a little bit.
What about you?
Well, I'm just thankful that we can have some sports again. It was nice to watch the football game last night, and I just hope people stay safe and follow protocols so we can continue to do that.
Second sauce is Shaquanda's hot pepper sauce. Second question here, maybe more of a little personal question, but do you have any sort of guilty pleasure?
Tennis is pretty nerdy, and it's like my favorite sport to play, and I love watching it, so that's nerdy. I don't feel particularly guilty about it.
I really like the James Bond 007 and like the Jack Ryan, Tom Clancy kind of action type of shows and books. I read 7 or 8 Tom Clancy books over break.
I watch Hallmark movies, but the reason I do is because there's no violence, there's no sex, there's no swearing. It's just kind of a family thing, and I kind of grew up that way, and it's kind of nice to have something still there, because a lot of shows don't have that anymore.
Okay, here's my guilty pleasure.
Olive Garden.
No, that would not be it. Pigs in a blanket. It might be worse than Olive Garden.
Oh, that's funny.
I know, but
that's so not you as a cook.
It's so not me as a cook, but if Chris is gone, I'm like, why not?
Third sauce, the pineapple habanero.
Okay, that's my favorite so far.
I like that too. You know what? I think I'm going to start a stack of these little cups of things that I don't mind if they never show up in my refrigerator, and things that I think would be okay to have on hand. This is an okay to have on hand one.
What job would you be terrible at?
I'm not great as a waitress. I will tell you that. I was a waitress And nice customers I'm fine with, but when it's like the snotty, picky kind of, particular ones, I really had issues with them. I'm like, just eat your flippin' food.
I really struggle with like high spaces, but also like tight spaces that are like kind of claustrophobic. So I have huge amounts of respect for utility workers that have to be like up at the top of poles, or that are having to get into kind of smaller spaces to work with any of the underground electricals. Like, so much respect. But like, I can't even really watch the videos of people that go like cave spelunking, because the idea of just being in such a small space makes me itch. So I have so much respect for like utility workers and things like that, and service workers that could do it.
I wouldn't be the person who buffs up the Eiffel Tower.
Yeah, like I'm scared of heights. I would not want to be a window washer on a skyscraper. Yeah, I wouldn't be good at that.
Probably wouldn't do super well as like a flight attendant.
All right. We'll move on to the aardvark. Aardvark habanero hot sauce. All right, next question here is, it's more of looking for some sort of story, if you have it. What would be one of your favorite, I guess, stories to come out of being at Springville? Whether funny, whether, whatever it is, it doesn't have to be funny. It can just be, one of your favorite stories. But first thing, I guess, that maybe comes to your mind from being at Springville, something like that.
I've been thinking about this question because I know you've asked it, and I've thought about how to answer it a couple different ways. I think one of my favorite memories, and this would come from coaching, was just being a part of like the first state title for the girls basketball, and then also being a coach with the first team that went to state volleyball. Overall though, because this will be my 23rd year at Springville, and so I'm starting to have kids of former students, and it's just really fun to see those former students, because get them in middle school, get them in 7th and 8th grade, when they're at their maximum dorkiness and unorganized and just kind of defiant. And there's some kids that I just remember thinking, my God, if their head wasn't screwed on, they would have lost it. And then they turn out, and now they're fathers and they're mothers, and they're doing really well. I mean, taking care of their kids. They've been in the military, carried guns and done stuff. So just having that breadth of being able to see them go from being the goofy, dorky kid in class that you just were going to pull your hair out on if you had to tell them one more time to, sit down and be quiet or whatever, to now they're adults. That has been probably the most satisfying thing.
Gosh, there were so many. My first Springville memory, start there I guess, is actually when I was coming in to interview. And
I know this story, don't I?
You do? I was coming in to interview, and I had heard about the position at Springville slightly before it actually went online, so I've been watching for it, because my second student teaching placement, their industrial tech teacher used to be the industrial tech or CTE teacher at Springville. So having that CTE connection, they knew the science teacher knew that the science teacher was looking for a new job because he was moving. So I've been like waiting and watching, and when I got an interview, I was pretty excited. And I pulled up, and I get out of my car, and I'm like double checking that I've got my bag and everything's good to go. And I start walking up to the building, and someone cat calls, like they whistle at me, and I was like, "Are you serious? I'm walking into a school building, and someone is catcalling at me right now?" And I like turn to look, and it's this mom getting out of her van, and when she sees my face, she goes like totally pale, starts like apologizing profusely, and is like, oh my gosh, I thought you were Murph, I'm so sorry. And so like instantly it was like, okay, there's clearly a story here, this is a pretty close community. And then meeting Murph, I think the very first thing I told her was like, you're Murph. I got catcalled thinking I was you. But
I think The fact that we're a small school and we have the kids from the time they're in 7th grade all the way until they're in high school, but then we see them walk across the stage at graduation and they're beautiful, intelligent, articulate people, and they're going to go out into the world, and just watching them is just such a wonderful, wonderful thing. And if we were in a big school, in a big district, after 2 years, we wouldn't know them. It's such a great little community, and the people I work with they're fun, they're funny, they're dedicated. You know, it's just a nice place to be.
Well, and like,
What's your memory?
you can't get better than having Nick as a principal, honestly. I almost killed him on accident with a turkey once, and he didn't fire me, you know? So, like, there are just a lot of positives.
Great.
Well, I have a lot of fond memories of Springville. I'm just going to be general here, but I really enjoyed the school board that I had to work with during the time I was here. And I think it's kind of indicative of how supportive the whole community is of the school district. If you think about the things that you have provided for you and the support, for the most part, it is really excellent. And I think they still have a good school board. To give you kind of an idea of how long it's been, I can't remember for sure because I'm doing this off the top of my head, but you know, watching the seniors last night, I think they were either preschool or kindergarten when I started in Springville. You know,
Oh my God.
and I could talk about, you know, what Gretchen says, you know, she's starting to see how students, now that they're adults, how different they are, they mature. And I've seen a lot more students graduate and move on than any of you have. And it's amazing, you know, almost all of them turn out really well. So it to me, that's one of the best things about education is to see those students as they grow, and then what happens to them after they graduate. And they usually do really, really well.
Well, and talk about close-knit districts. 2 days before the school year started, the first year I was teaching, I didn't have my teaching license because I had studied abroad in Spain, and the transcripts were on hold from Luther, and so I didn't have any official transcripts, and I didn't have a teaching license, and I had to go to Des Moines to get a conditional, but I didn't have enough money to pay for my conditional license on me in person that day. And I kid you not, Terry got out his wallet and was willing to pay for my conditional license so that I could go drive to Des Moines and get my conditional license. So yeah, it's a pretty amazing community that we work in.
I want that story to be about what a wonderful person Terry is, not how desperate we were for a science teacher.
Ruby, you just ruined it? Oh, I hadn't even thought about it like that.
I'm sorry. How can you not have thought about it like that? But it's about how wonderful Terry is. I love that expression on your face, by the way. That's great.
All right, let's
Nice.
Lou?
Oh.
What?
The word ghost pepper has me concerned.
It's so gross. Oh, I don't like it. I don't
It
like
tastes
it.
like medicine.
Oh, kind of, yeah.
That cough syrup that you had when you were a kid, that kind of medicine.
With a little bit of fire, but yeah.
you know, it's not.
Well,
If you could spend the day in someone else's shoes, who would you pick and why?
okay. If I could have her brains and her ability to argue, somebody like Katie Porter, who just shreds people in a committee hearing. She's a representative from California. She's amazing. I would like to see the world from her seat for a day, but I would want to be able to, analyze the situation and put people in their place like she does. So
I feel like I have too many answers to this question. It's like, I would love to be Pink for a day. Are you kidding me? She's the bomb, she's hot, she's so talented, and she does that trapeze thing because she just does all of the martial arts training. That would be amazing. I would love to do that. And I mean, do it because I could do it, and I was clearly trained that I was Pink and wasn't afraid of heights. So that would be awesome. I think it would be incredible to, be Benedict Cumberbatch and just hear accents come pouring out of your mouth on accident on purpose because it's what you talk like? That's a hard question.
I think I'm influenced here because of Gretchen's answer, but Ben or Jerry. Because when they owned Ben and Jerry's, there's like the person making the most could only make something like 7% more than the person making the least, you know? And so just kind of thinking through their philosophy and stuff, I think that would be a good thing to do.
I'm just gonna have to I'm gonna have to name them all. We'll see if I can get through them. Well, first of all, probably my dad, because I really thought he always tried to do the right things. And then when I was a teacher and coach in Oskaloosa, I had a mentor. He was the head football coach. I was assistant football coach, Jerry Staten. He just always has the right stories at the right time and was always trying to help the young gentlemen become gentlemen, because you know they're not always when they're in high school. And I learned a lot from him. And then a little selfishly, there's some others that, you know, you said just a day, right? So I can do several. So, you know, there's like, when I was a kid, you know, what it would have been like to be a rock star like Elvis Presley. And then you guys won't know this person, but I always wanted to play professional football. I'd love to have been Gale Sayers for the Chicago Bears. And then in basketball, I'm going to name two people, I think. You guys are all going to think about Michael Jordan, which, yeah, that'd be great. But Wilt Chamberlain was probably the best athlete that ever played basketball. So, you know, when I was a kid, I used to always watch him and Bill Russell go at it every Sunday. That was kind of cool. So, see, thank you. Oh, one more person. You know, I'm a shy person. I don't like getting up in front of people, but I always thought it'd be cool to be like John Wayne, and some of the characters that he played were cool. So there you have it.
The garlic reaper sauce here.
This
My
is the
dog
one
keeps
that,
trying to lick the container, and I keep trying to be like, Zoe, no, you don't want that.
oh, your dog? Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
This is the one that people,
All right.
Is this the
But it-
delayed one?
yeah. This one's bad.
Yeah, I don't like this one.
My tongue is hot.
My gums are hot. I got like a chunk of it
Mm-hmm.
between my teeth and my cheek, and my gums are a little uncomfortable. It's not fun.
Knowing what you know now,
Mhm.
what advice would you give to yourself when you were in high school?
Really just relax. You know, I am so uptight and so rigid about so many things. Just relax.
Or what would you tell
You
your
know.
middle school self?
I guess it would depend on the day. There were days where like your friend group shifts and you're kind of like left hanging in the air, feeling like you've got nobody. So kind of helping guide towards better support sooner. I was terrible about homework.
Well, I gotta admit, I've really been blessed with a lot of things. And I think just to remind myself to appreciate, I just felt like I probably didn't appreciate and tell people as much, you know, how much I appreciate it and how much I thank them. And so I try to do that more now, even like just people in the store, to tell them thank you, you know, because I really do feel like I've been fortunate in a lot of things.
I did not have a lot of confidence in school, and was not the best student, and was concerned that I couldn't do it. And I'd like to go back and redo it and have more confidence and really do my best in the academic world.
We will, second to last sauce here. This is going pretty well here. Fire.
Oh, as in like fire?
Yep. Actually, the use of hot ones.
Don't smell it. Alrighty, you ready?
Uh-huh.
There's a little hint of barbecuiness in there.
Yeah.
I don't like this. I don't like the taste.
When I swallowed, that's when it hit me. Ugh.
I don't like that one. That
No,
one
there's
seems
like
mostly
a...
just spicy.
I didn't think that was too bad.
I got a pretty solid numb spot on my tongue though.
Well,
Feel a little bit like a dragon.
yeah.
Feel a little bit like a dragon.
Yeah.
A little bit like a dragon. Yeah.
Have,
I'm just trying to wipe it.
I'm gonna ask 2 questions. If you want to answer them both, you are welcome to. And what would be something students, staff members would be surprised to learn about you, or what are you most proud of? And if you
I don't know if students know that I'm an avid fan of F1 racing because my family is incredibly close-knit. We have a really close, strong family, and doesn't mean we always agree. It doesn't mean everything always goes smoothly. You know, that isn't real. But there is never a question of whether or not someone's going to answer the phone and be a supportive ear or a supportive voice on the other end of it. And so, like, my first year teaching, my mom came and helped me clean my classroom and has made, like, an anniversary trip of it every year since. So even just this past Monday, she was up there with me scrubbing the cabinet. And, you know, my dad came to get me from college when I was going through a kind of horrific breakup. And I called him, and it's a little over a 2-hour drive. And like 2 hours and 15 minutes later, he was at my door just to take me home for the day. You know, so my family is something that I can't take credit for, but is like the shining pride of my life.
Well, I ran in the state track meet in the 3,000 meter run.
That's a long run.
Yeah. Well, looking at me now, you would not think I was a distance runner because I definitely stopped running, but at one time I was pretty avid distance runner. What about you, Terry?
Well, most people probably don't know that I can play the piano. It's been a long time, so I don't do it very often. But yeah, I took piano lessons for a long time in my life. I can also cook when I want to.
That's a
Thanks
good
to
cook.
Rachel, I made a couple coconut cream pies.
Ooh.
By the way,
It's a pretty good recipe.
it is. It was excellent. Thank you.
He's a good cook. He's a good cook.
I'm trying to think about things that I would want to see in my obituary, and I'm like, well, maybe the things I want to see in my obituary aren't necessarily like things, but they're like, I showed up, I lent a hand, I did what I could do, what I knew how to do. And those are the things that I think that I'm proud of, is that, you know, if my neighbor needs help, I can show up and I can do something, and I can.
One of the last sauce here. It is tradition around here to put a little bit more on the last chicken nugget or last tortilla chip, whatever it is that you want.
Hold on, is that
That's
an
what I
okay amount?
have.
Oh my
Is that how
God,
much you
that's
guys-
too
hang on.
much.
I've been
Is that how much you guys have been
consistent.
doing this whole time?
That's how much I've been doing.
I've been doing
But-
so you dread this one a little bit.
Yeah.
All right, I'm just gonna do this.
Yeah, I'm gonna do
All right,
it.
here we go. Yeah? Cheers. It's
Oh, it
bad.
hurts my nose.
So bad. Oh.
This is like that other one where it's the dirt taste.
Actually, no. How about this?
Ew. Oh God.
Not a very good flavor.
Mm-mm.
It's vile.
It's really bad.
That's really awful, and it does. It hit my sinuses somehow. Oh goodness.
Oh. Oh.
It's making me hate breathing. Does that count? Is that a thing?
Ooh.
I can feel myself drooling. That's a thing.
It lingers on the palate.
Oh, it hurts. That hurts.
It's a pain.
It's disgusting. That is so bad. That was the worst one. Not just like my spicy, but that one was gross.
That was a little bit hotter. Oh my God. That is understatement, Terry.
Are you throwing up?
Gross.
My kitchen sink's never going to be the same again.
I don't want to close my mouth.
Here.
All right. Favorite restaurant?
Restaurant in Solon called the Salt Fork, and they just, everything is like farm to table. It's absolutely to die for. I don't get to go very often, have been in ages. Salt Fork Kitchen. It's amazing. Their lemon bars, you'll never be the same.
There are a couple, and I'm not sure that Sales Seafood, it's not exactly a restaurant, although you can get food there, but you can't, you can eat it on the front porch. So does that count as a restaurant or no? Rapid Round? I see you,
Yeah.
Rapid Round. All right, okay,
Yeah.
all right, okay. So Sales and Rapid Creek Cidery.
Fire Creek in West Des Moines. If I go local, it's Butcher Block in Marion.
Polly Eyes. They serve pizza. That's what pizza's one of my favorites, and in Grinnell, Iowa.
All right, we're moving
The
on.
only thing you need.
I'm going to tell you,
is pizza.
good luck on making it rapid fire with us.
All right, this one is specifically for Murph. Favorite type of cheese?
Really like kind of like stinky, salty, aged kind of, not always cheddars, but those ones, especially with ham. So like a pumpernickel or rye bread with like a really pungent white cheese and some ham. But I'm also like an absolute like mess. Velveeta makes the best grilled cheese sandwich you've ever had in your life, and Murph is like, that's not even cheese, that's processed chemicals in a block. And I'm like, melt me up some slugs, baby. It's an awesome grilled cheese.
I'm kind of in love right now with a smoked blue cheese called Moody Blue. Very tasty.
Swiss. I really like Swiss.
I'm done! I'm nowhere near done.
I know.
It's my favorite type of cheese.
It's going rapid. Swiss.
I like grilled cheese, but I'll go with sharp cheddar.
There you go. Is a hot dog a sandwich?
Yes.
No.
Yes.
Yes.
Pineapple on pizza.
Yes, because it gives awesome flavor, but cooked fruit is nasty, so you got to pick it off and give it to the dog.
Pineapple belongs on Canadian bacon pizza, no other.
Yeah,
That's better.
I would agree on that.
No.
Pancake or waffle?
What's going on it?
Pancake or waffle?
Pancake, because they're easy to make.
Maybe waffle.
Waffle.
Pancake.
With strawberries on top? Pancake?
Fiestada pizza or Crispito?
Mm.
What was the first one?
I
Fiesta.
have only had one of those,
The Mexican pizza.
so I don't know if I can compare them. I've had the Fiestada pizza,
Crispitos.
but I haven't had the Crispitos, so I don't know.
Fair enough.
Could I have a third choice?
You guys could say, can you say? I was thinking you would say neither.
Like,
Sure.
you know, the chicken Alfredo is pretty good too, if you like that kind of thing.
Crispitos.
They're both good. I'll go with pizza.
Burger King or McDonald's?
I haven't had Burger King in about 20 years, so I would say McDonald's. But I'm really intrigued by their new vegan option. So that's Burger King, right? The Beyond Burger or whatever.
Oh, yeah.
So that's on my to-do list. But McDonald's.
McDonald's if I'm only having the French fries.
Burger King.
McDonald's.
Favorite fruit?
If it's fresh peaches,
There is something magical about a Missouri peach.
or is their backyard one?
That one too, I'm sure, but yeah.
I'm gonna go watermelon. I like a lot of fruit, but there's something about watermelon. It just is summer to me. So.
Apples.
Favorite TV show?
I'm currently watching the F1 series on Netflix.
I really like Atypical and Grace and Frankie and The Crown for something a little bit more serious.
I'm gonna go Seinfeld.
That brings us to the end. So thank you all for taking the time out of your weekend to do this. Really appreciate it. It's really fun to get to learn a little bit learn something new about everyone here. So thank you very much.
It was a lot of fun.
You just didn't see what was going on out in my kitchen.
I was rinsing it,
Yeah.
spitting.
It was
I didn't
not
throw
pretty-
up.
It was not a pretty sight.
Ugh.